All right. Okay. We are by the bear, and we decided that we can't.
I think so. At the very least, Sean, I think you're gonna need like your more magic before you can do this.
Oh!
So I think maybe we go and work to afford a magic potion and then come back with that. We could try.
Go clean some more
but
stables for a while.
Shit.
Yeah, that was a bad plan.
Shit.
That was a bad
Okay.
plan.
All right. I went on to look mode.
Jesus.
This guy's just gonna kick your ass. Look at that purple clay troll, though.
I know.
Like,
It's good
that's
stuff.
pretty awesome.
Ow! I can get him. No. I'm gonna fight him again. I'm fighting. I can kill
Are
him.
you really? You think you can do it?
I can do this.
All right.
I'm figuring out his moves.
You gotta sting like a butterfly and sting like a bee. I don't know, man.
Ow! He stung as hard as a butterfly.
Damn, it's the
Power
troll!
up! Power up!
It's,
Oh
you're already
shit!
powered up.
Oh!
You're getting troll rocked, and he's not even swinging that thing.
Yeah, you're
You're just getting injured.
He's got to step forward. Ah,
it's not
shit.
going super well for you.
Okay, wait. I gotta come back. I just like hit the 7 button because I panicked, and then I went to a different screen. Okay, look, I can do this.
I don't think you can do it. I think you don't have the stats for it. I think you gotta kill more goblins first. You were doing pretty well though. That's good.
Yeah.
Shit!
He has so much health.
I have so much heart.
You do.
And
Never
sometimes he
believe in
rolls
failure.
sometimes he rolls a natural 20 and then you're just kind of fucked.
Oh!
What a monster.
Dude, okay, Sean, I gotta ask. Is this game like a lot of grind?
There is some grind in this game.
Oh, man. I can't believe you've done this. So do I just... should I grind goblins for a little bit?
That might help, yeah. But I also think you should get some potions.
You and your potions, Sean.
Because then you can actually, like, do stuff. Because part of the problem is that, like you have these very limited... Okay, so the sort of stat economy of this game is you have these very limited resources of... In the moment, like within the fight, you've got your magic and your health and your stamina, and those tick down super fast. No matter what you're doing, like anything that you do that will improve your stats will tick down all of those resources. So in order to get yourself like thinking in an economy building way, in order to get yourself like able to do shit, you need to build up the stats that actually determine what those resources are. You need to build up your strength and your vitality and your magic, like actual skills. But to do that, you need to like grind on these actions that cost those short-term resources. So the potions give you a shortcut.
Gruesome.
The potions are giving you a shortcut
I don't have enough for potions though. I don't have enough money. I need 75.
Do you really for the power potion? Is it 75?
It's 75.
So fucking expensive.
It really is.
You need money to
Well
get
then,
money.
you could
I'm gonna go quest.
yeah, you could get some health potions, health and stamina potions, which I think are cheaper, and just use your dagger. Oh, he's coming back.
Oh.
End of the day. You can look at him.
Can I? I mean, I have been.
Skipping merrily
It's
back
not very
home from work.
interesting. It's not super interesting.
I remember encountering a door.
There, you can also, yeah, there is a door. Oh, go to the right.
Man, Sean, you were just in
there's a dude.
charge.
There's a dude that we can talk to.
Ah! The roar of the waterfall fills your ears, and the cold spray dampens your face as you approach.
Well, let's go to here.
That looks like a door.
Use your hand.
You're
Boom.
gonna do it!
Okay, so that's actually kind of hard to climb, but you climb that tree so many
I
times.
literally just climbed up and down the tree for most of part 3, so...
Yeah. You have a...
I have a way to open.
You do.
You've got a word open. I don't know what it is. Wow. Oh. Oh. Hello.
Hello?
Open it from down here.
You're kidding me. Do I have to...
No, you just need to stand like over to the side.
Oh, my...
This is a stupid fucking puzzle.
Oh boy. Climbing it, climbing it. You're the wizard of climbing.
So I need to, like, just stand here?
Yeah.
Oh, no. This game is... This is Dark Souls. This is Dark Souls without combat.
You probably have like
Oh my
one life
God.
now. You have like one life and no stamina.
Do I need to stand close
No,
to the door?
you were doing it right. You just went too far. Like there. That's good.
Oh,
Okay.
it opens and it knocks me up.
Yeah.
Okay. If I'm too tired for this spell...
You're gonna fall, bro.
Are you kidding me? Can you talk to the door?
Talk to the door. That's hilarious.
You talk at yourself? Maybe that's not King's Quest for Glory 1. Yeah, okay, never mind. Then knock on the door and then quickly get out of the way.
Oh,
Okay, so I moved away from the door.
Now.
Oh.
Weird that you can just...
Oh my god, that was one of the hardest puzzles. That's...
I
Wait
know,
a minute,
right?
It's a troll door. I'm not mistaken, is it? It's literally a troll door. Look, there is a troll.
Yeah.
It's a
Hello, go on in.
Hello?
Oh, what the hell did he just do?
Hello, how are you? Have we met before? I'm Henry the Hermit, that's me. My father was an hermit and my mother was an hermit, so I combined me job rightly.
His
Dear
bottom
God.
lip is just a sausage.
God.
I
Tell
know.
me that's not claymation, Bill. Like, that's totally, like, some goofy little...
Don't have too many visitors. Hermits don't, you know. I like to see new faces, though. Good to hear another speaking beside himself. Another. Good to see another speaking beside myself.
I just love how, like, stringy his beard is.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh, look at this. The water flows right through. That's amazing.
That is a swinging rock entrance.
It's the hermit's
Alright.
staff.
Talk to him.
Okay.
Talk to him about, ladder.
Former.
I knows some magic. Erasmus the Wizard
Some misspelled, even though it's pronounced exactly the same way.
Yeah.
He's what put the spell on me ladder so the brigands don't get up. Them what climbed the box.
Terrible. This is terrible. God, the writing is just... Alright, spells.
Spells pretty simple. Maybe I like them. Make the ladder show up and give me a gold door and you see. It's
Trigger.
a spell what sets off other spells, like when you want to see the ladder, cast trigger, and there you have it, largest life. Of course, you have that spell on the visible ladder make first, which is uses, and then scroll. Alright, scroll. If you want to learn the spell, please share it with you.
Good.
It's just getting molding.
Nice.
You want it?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's want it.
Boom!
Kabam. Look at how many spells you're getting, dude.
Look at how many points that is, man.
You have so many points.
Oh, 97 points. Can we broach 100? Can we beat 1/5 of the game?
Dude, that's a fifth of the game.
Scroll vanishes even as you read the magic runes upon it. You now have the knowledge to cast a trigger spell. What spells we need? We need like trigger, snatch, floozy,
trigger,
bumble,
Fletch, crumple,
flame,
stork,
and
nose.
open. You have enough to play the wizard game.
Ooh.
Although you would need lots of potions to actually play it.
Oh my god.
Everything in this game is prohibitive. Is that a birthday cake?
Let's just take it.
Fetch it.
It's not polite to steal from your airy little oath.
What
Oh.
the narrator has picked up the hermit's accent.
Well, I think he's just... What
Oh
the...
shit!
Ah, death.
Oh shit!
You're all wet. He sure pulled the trigger on you, not to mention the plug.
Sean, it's a Sierra game. You can't do anything or it'll kill you.
I can't believe I've done this.
Where were we?
Oh shit ass. And the colors. Oh my god, psychedelic time. Oh my god. Do I really got Oh shit balls. Oh god. Oh, get away from the... Run, wizard.
VG anus.
Oh fuck.
Your eyes will never be
God.
the same.
Our points.
Yeah, we lost so many points.
Look at these colors.
Yeah, so this is index colored, right?
I don't know, man.
So just like the index got
Index
shifted
got
off
all
by
set, yeah.
Index colors like finger paints?
Yes, Bill.
Oh. This, like, I now know... I feel like in 1991, when this game was out, you just didn't have anything else to do, so you were just like, okay.
You just do this all the time. No, I'll go down. We're going back to the hermit, yes?
Yeah, and then we go
Down,
down,
down.
down, and right.
Down and right. Yeah, right when you see the purple log. That's now green.
Well, let me use my superior climbing skills to climb up.
Good job.
You did it. Now don't knock and then
Let me walk and then knock.
walk and knock.
Walk and knock. That's good.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Look at his white-haired cave entrance. Oh my God! Oh God. You know, Sean, I gotta ask: is the rest of the game just a lot of grinding and stuff? Because it makes me wonder if we should do it for a third day.
Yeah. So, we could call it quits. I'd love to talk a little bit about how the systems interplay because I think it's really interesting.
Of frickin' course.
We're very close to some actual plot development, but then following that plot development, there's going to be we're going to have to grind a little bit to get there, and then we're going to have to grind a bit afterwards. But we're close. I think we're close to like the midpoint of the game.
Really?
Where you sort of complete the first. Maybe save before you do too much, Sean.
All right, we got to get to 100 points.
We might be able to get to 100 points by going and trying to find the Dryad.
What if I keep talking to him?
You can talk to him forever.
Let's see.
We could also try to find the fairy ring, the mushrooms, because mushrooms you can get a lot of money for, I think.
Yeah, I'm asking him about stuff.
Or we could try to go find the actual big bad for the game, but there's not a lot that we could do there, right?
Well, let's find out what he looks like in psychedelic colors.
Whoa, he's gonna give us like a place to stay.
He's amazing. He's the best.
He's
These are
super
good
nice,
friends.
as long as you don't touch his fucking lamp.
Or cake, or
Let me
cake
just
lamp.
fall down face first.
The lamb.
There
Good
it
job.
is.
That's a narrow
Good
ledge.
job.
What was I supposed to do? Climb down? Come on, Sean.
Shaw.
Oh my god, it's a grind fest. I gotta run. Do I gotta kill goblins?
Yeah, like,
Let's grind, Sean. You know,
what do
I'm
your
gonna,
stats look like?
okay, let me show you what I'm working with here.
Alright, what are you working with? Good. Your magic's low, but everything else is good. Basically, you just want to run around until your stamina's down, and then you can rest, and that'll bring your magic back up. And or fight things with your dagger until you're tired out, and then you can rest and bring your magic back up, and then practice your magic a lot.
Oh shit, I think I went a lot of wrong ways.
It's okay. It's all right. Which, to start out with, I think the goblins are like a good way to like the first couple levels of goblins. God, it's so weird, that color. All right, so go left.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna go to goblin territory if I go this way, eh?
Yeah. So you can fuck up some goblins, and then there's a fairy ring around here somewhere, where you can find mushrooms that you can sell for more than flowers.
I'm making them make the bitey noise.
Wow,
So
okay.
You're so good at stabbing now. Like,
You're
got
schooling
really good
them.
at stabbing.
Look at me, I'm spamming the button. This is no contest.
It's just a matter of how much stamina you have.
Stab Minna.
You've already taken his money.
That's such a loaded observation. You've already taken all the money off of the dead person you killed.
I would save before you go
monster.
back there, though.
Don't worry, I got this, Sean. Who do you think I am?
I think you're gonna rock
I am
this. Ferlintokezeirquizes.
Oh.
God, blah, 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 blah.
So I don't lose stamina if I connect with him?
No, you do. It's just you've got more stamina. Your max stamina is higher.
Sean B, the game music sort of occludes your microphone sometimes.
Oh, no!
You heart attacked right out of there.
So restore and see if you can rest for 60 minutes before you go back.
Rest for 60 seconds. Boy, I feel great.
There you go.
You do. You're not gonna take it. Goblins ain't gonna take it.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
this
like,
screen, I actually find this screen like incredibly interesting, because it's like every time you come, like it's a great place to level up, practice your skills to do this grind. But every time you come back, there are more goblins, and even when you get to the point, like you're at this point where you can easily kill goblins, take almost no damage from any number of goblins, but it's really just a like how long can you last before your stamina runs out.
Yeah. It tells you where you find the silvers.
It's
yeah, I'm
there's a
just
little
gleefully darting around. Alright, we're gonna stop when we hit 100 points. No, what are you doing? What are you get out of there? Oh.
Oh, I think it's getting to be nighttime. We might want to go to the that
Oh!
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
try
gonna get manta raid.
fireballing him.
Oh man.
No, he's not.
Oh, you might kill it, dude. Except for your stamina.
Shit, I just swung and a miss and I died from exhaustion in front of him.
So close.
You have like the most delicate heart condition.
I must look ridiculous. I threw all these threatening fireballs and then just fell asleep.
We didn't kill the 3 goblins, though, did we? Like, we restored to before that?
Yeah, maybe I should just rest on their corpses. What do you think? Is that good? Is that a good plan?
I like it. I like it.
There's no rest like a corpse rest.
So, like, there are a couple places in the game where you are guaranteed to find monsters at, like, a certain level. Like, the goblins are among the easiest monsters to kill. And then there's another spot where you can find brigands who are slightly harder.
It just sounds like I should be eating something right now.
I know, I'm really hungry. Oh, I'm gonna run out of stamina. Oh, yeah, because I ran around like a dunce.
You slept. You need to sleep. You didn't sleep.
I think I did sleep. I think you're mistaken.
I think you did.
Always sleep before gobbling.
Okay.
Okay, so, you know, while I'm...
Use your spells, too. Well, I don't know.
After this guy gets stabbed to death, yeah. I completely agree after stabbing him to death. You know...
His spells, I think, take up less stamina.
You know, so, okay, here's something that I'm just observing through our... Really? Am I gonna die to 3 goblins because they can't touch me and I'm out of gauges? Okay, so... Okay, here's something that I feel like is true. I'm going to start doing some of my final analysis thoughts because I'm feeling like this is not the right game to play for another episode because there's so much stat grinding. And what we thrive on is poorly written dialogue and puzzles. Like, we played through all of the dig because at least it had a forward momentum feel to this. And this is like the sort of game where, like, you would grind for a long time.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong, Sean. You're definitely not wrong.
I'm not wrong. Hey, that's very Bruce Block of you.
You're not wrong.
So one of the things that I will say, and you know, I'll defend this game up and down, but I think you're right. It's not good for the show. They get, I think, better at it. So I'm thinking about Quest for Glory like 3 and 4. They do a better job of giving you sort of progressive plot stuff that kind of takes you through some of the level building. And there is still an amount of grinding, like there's an amount of grinding that is going to be synonymous with Quest for Glory, but it does a little bit of a better job of giving you sort of stuff to do that feels like progress, that feels like narratively this is necessary, or this is at least interesting. Mm-hmm. Whereas this game really just like dumps you out into the world, and it says, here are a couple things that you save. Here are a couple things that you are gonna wanna do. But you can't do them yet. You are not high enough level to do them yet. And this is, like, regardless of how it feels from a gameplay experience point.
What? Wow.
God, like, this is, it's unforgiving in an unexciting way. Because, like, I really do love that about Dark Souls, where you lose, but you know exactly why you lost. And you're like, oh, God, I really need to...
I wouldn't say that, though, because we know that if you're outside and you rest, you'll die.
There are safe places where you can rest, and if you rest somewhere else, then you're fucked.
You're done.
Mm-hmm. So you can rest in the Hermit's house, or you can rest in Irana's Peace.
Yep.
So, yeah... Okay, it's hard for me to sum up my thoughts on this game because I know it so well and I love it so much. It is absolutely a product of its time, and it's you know, there's a lot of game design here that just would not fly today. But at the same time, I think what it does is it tries. That interface is amazing in that color, by the way. It tries to to merge these two very different gameplay genres.
Yeah.
That at the time were extremely distinct. Like, there were adventure games and there were RPGs, and nary the two shall meet. And it's actually, there's something really exciting about what this game tries to do and succeeds at doing to a certain extent. I mean, if you think about it more as a role-playing game where you're expecting a certain level of grinding, you're expecting a certain level of stat building, the kind of narrative that it has is actually like, really, it's strange. It's unique amongst sort of RPGs at that time.
Yeah, I will say it's weirdly compelling in that, like, in a traditional RPG, or I should say not traditional. This is more traditional. But like your mid Final Fantasies, like Final Fantasy VII.
Sure.
It was just, you're going to go somewhere and you're going to do combat, and the combat was more of like a fun activity that you were mostly guaranteed to win. That you mostly did as a way to get more loot and to have fun using abilities, and then a boss might actually be kind of a challenge, and you might have to use a lot of like potions and be more thoughtful. But here, it's actually, I just love the wonder of old adventure games where you get that like, like walking here and seeing a troll, and we're like, what the hell? And then I wander around him and feel clever. And then there's like a bear inside, and we get past the bear and feel clever, and then a kobold kills us.
Right.
Yeah, there's definitely an element to this game that's like, it's like Minecraft if you try to play that without any intro. Like, you need to learn how to survive your first night, You need to look on the wiki to, like, figure it out. Which makes it feel a little bit like, it's interesting that it's in a world that is unforgiving to the player.
Oh, yes! Ship it! All I did! Oh, with the messed up color scheme, too. What?
So good. Wait. But.
Ooh. Treasure chest.
No, you're not gonna be able to open it, but do you have any mana left?
I don't think I have any mana.
Try it. See how much mana you've got. Open.
Rest.
Can you open? Yeah, rest for 60 minutes.
Yeah, that's
Can you rest here?
Totally do it. Yeah, you can rest for 60 minutes.
This is like The Sims.
Oh.
It's all coming together.
Oh.
All
right. So, yeah, but you can it presents you with these things, like it's not leveled, right? Like Skyrim always levels itself to you. It always presents you with challenges that you can overcome. It's a tactical game. It's a game about managing like what you are doing in the moment, because the enemies are all of an appropriate level. In Quest for Glory, they do not give you enemies of an appropriate level. They give you these absolute challenges to meet that you sort of have to do in the right order, or you're just not going to be able to overcome them.
Mm-hmm. There's like... Well, first of all, I'd like to note, I fed the bear. 102 points. Guys, we beat the game.
Good job.
Oh, okay. Let me save the game.
Save it.
I'm gonna kill the game for now.
Yep.
And just for anyone watching, the reason that it like hurts a little bit to kill it because it's like a completely reasonable game. It's just kind of hard to stream the amount of time that you need to grind.
Yep.
Where there's not a lot to talk about. Grinding is fun in a lot of games. I don't think it's fun for a show.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So I'm gonna cut that puppy off. But like, there's somewhere in between this and the super modern RPGs. Yeah, Sean. Yeah, you're gonna get ready to talk about Quest for Glory and finish that shot of Jägermeister, man. Woo!
It's gonna be good.
But there's somewhere in between there that I really, really like a lot, where there's still a focus on combat that's like more explored and fleshed out, but the idea of the super boss that you can't kill because you're way too weak is one of my favorite feelings in like any RPG. I still remember in Fallout 1 starting off and instead of heading east where your map marks, just heading west nonstop. And then you just discover the old mutant base and you're just like, wait, what? And they're all way too fun and just destroy the crap out of you.
Yeah. That happens in Borderlands too.
Did I say fun? I meant to say strong.
Yeah,
I was reading chat.
That was way too strong that you made up. Fun is just, you know, I'm feeling so fun right now.
And I remember like trying to figure out a way to get through that area and just dying and going, well, okay. And then going through like the whole game for like, 20 hours and then coming back to the mutant base and then being strong enough. And I was like, and then I got like new stuff or just if there's a locked door is like a really just standard fantasy trope in like books or, in Patrick Rothfuss's King Killers books.
Sure.
It's great. It's just a locked door. And if you just put a giant dragon and that's the lock, you know what you need to do to beat it, but there's still the mystery behind there that makes you want to go through it. And I think that this has all the mystery of the big scary monsters at varying locks in the game without any of the more straightforward things. Like I don't know how to grind. I would have had no idea how to grind until you were like down, left, down, up, left. Now kill this guy and keep going back, and eventually you'll note that goblins continue to spawn.
Oh. Yeah. No, absolutely. There are elements of this that are that we've lost, like that were part of game culture at a moment that that sort of no longer are. And then honestly, I think there are parts of this that were innovative. There were, like, especially for the audience, right? So this is a Sierra game. Sierra at the time, so another one of my absolute all-time favorite games that we should not do on this show is Betrayal at Krondor. Betrayal at Krondor is a Dynamix game, which was published by Sierra. And that is an RPG. That is like a big story heavy beautiful RPG, but it's very RPG. It's all like stats and combat and non-combat like stat based stuff. But Sierra itself, the games that it developed in-house were famously adventure. I mean, it was King's Quest. Yeah. It was King's Quest and all of these spin-off series like Police Quest and Leisure Suit Larry that were like literally from the King's Quest template, rethemed, reskinned, done like different things, but they're essentially, they were the King's Quest engine. That's what a Sierra game was. And so to take the Sierra audience and say, here's a game that looks like an adventure game. It looks so much like King's Quest, but you got to play it differently. There's actually something like incredibly magical about that, about sort of asking your audience to do something out of their comfort zone. I don't know. I think like it was very cool at the time.
I think there's a certain magic to this where it feels like a mix between sort of Zelda and The Sims and an adventure game. Like it's a weird hybrid. I've never quite seen something like it. I mean, it definitely feels like they're going to let you go wherever you want and discover different challenges, like you said, that have absolute difficulties that you can overcome. It was pretty great that, like, because we had tried climbing a tree so much, we could climb up to the guy's house. Like, that's a really interesting way of, like, doing character creation or character development.
Yeah.
Said, I feel like there's something missing in this game. The characters don't seem all that vibrant. Maybe it's just because we're sort of nameless and we don't speak.
Yeah.
But compared to King's Quest 6, you know.
Yeah. Well, and especially compared to the Dig, I think. But even compared to King's Quest 6, no, you're absolutely right. And like those secondary characters, it's got secondary characters along the lines of King's Quest 6. They're just not as well written. And then the player character is this weird voiceless, empty vessel that in the 90s we didn't really know what to do with. We didn't know how to create a player character. And King's Quest VI, which was several years later, you know, I think part of how it tries to make that work is through the narrator. But it helps that it's this sort of objective storytelling that, you know, that Prince Alexander is he's a sort of a known quantity. He is a character who has a motivation and he can have a reaction to things, whereas
Ferlintokezeirquizes.
Exactly. He's supposed to be ours. Right? There's only a certain amount that the game can say, this is who he is, this is what he does. To some extent, it sort of wants us to inhabit him. And that's great. Like that, and that works in a lot of RPGs, and a lot of RPGs make it work, like narratively. But at this time, especially in adventure games, we didn't really sort of know how to, you know, create a nameless one. And instead we just have this character that's kind of got no character.
Which is weird because he has like very characteristic poses, you know, and yet he says nothing.
Yeah.
I think
no, totally.
his starting pose, the little arm coming out. You know, and as you were talking, I think there are two things that made this session not as enjoyable as the other games we've played. One is like the very simple lack of progress. Because, you know, we've gotten stuck before, but at least it was like, we know that we're stuck. We had clear objectives and goals that we had to do that felt like progress. It felt like things were moving forward. For as much as we love to joke about the design of these 4 islands on, you know, King's Quest and the sort of ridiculousness of them, they each still had a very clear sense of what you were doing on them. Like when we got through the maze on the Isle of the mountain. The Isle of the Sacred Mountain. It was the Isle of the Sacred Mountain. Yeah, there it is. Boom! Yeah, when we got through that, like, I felt done. It felt completed. I felt like I'd accomplished a thing. Like, when we got the gem from the ogre, I was like, I have a gem now. Like, I had no idea. It was hard for me to feel where we were on this, like, path of progress. But I think the biggest thing that just made me go, oh, and made me feel disheartened is when we returned the flowers, and it was 5 silver. We killed a goblin, and it was like 7 silver. And then it turned out that a potion to restore mana so that we can cast spells to get good enough at spells to do something was 75 silver. And in my head, I immediately just mapped out the amount of time that it would take. Not exactly, because that makes me sound like one of those fucking, like, I knew exactly how many minutes it would be, but it was, in my mind, it computed to be a lot of fucking minutes. So I was like, no, I don't really want to do that. Like, I'm trying to put my finger on it, because there are games like in Morrowind, I remember there were areas I went to and that the game was like, dude, you are too low level to be here. And I went, oh, okay, I'm too low level to be here. And I went somewhere else with stuff to do and felt really compelled by that, by those sort of level walls around me that sort of like nudged me in a certain direction. But there, I just felt the game was saying, yeah, here is the next task you have to do, and it might not be any other task than this one. Go have fun. And I was like, oh, I don't really find that, like, I don't want to spend that much time doing that. And I think that if we did get past that, I think it could have been awesome, and there could have been a lot of amazing stuff there. But I just kind of felt a little disheartened before then.
Yeah, sure. Well, and you know, one of the things that I think it wants you to do that is extremely hard for us to do today, and I don't know if it was easier back then, is that when you are stuck, like, we explored probably 3/4 of the world, but there are at least 3 three like really significant plot necessary screens that we never saw. Probably more than that, probably 4 or 5. That were just like off in other parts of the world, and one of them is not a place where we could progress very far, but it is a place where we could use that glowing gem that we found. Mm-hmm. So there's kind of a sense of if you're not able to tackle the challenge that's ahead of you, there's 2 things you can do. You can either grind until you're ready to tackle it, just like pure stats, or you can go look for something that is adventure gamey, that is a like adventure game puzzle that's an inventory puzzle that you can solve. Whereas in Quest for Glory or in King's Quest VI, if you get to a point where you can't progress, the only thing that you can do is go look somewhere else until you find the thing that you need that is the one key that will open that door. Mm-hmm. In that sense, Quest for Glory is actually more forgiving than King's Quest, than a traditional... It's less linear. The other thing that... the thing that I love about Quest for Glory that made me love it when I was a kid playing it is this idea that it is a linear story. It's an adventure game story like King's Quest that frequently has these gating puzzles that can be solved many different ways. Mm-hmm. And that is absolutely an innovation in this series that that still is pretty rare. I mean, you look at any kind of...
So many if-then statements.
But it's actually, like, it's implemented in a really simple way. There's almost always 3 solutions to every puzzle, and they all rely on, like, a small subset of stats, so that the, like, ideal fighter, ideal mage, and ideal thief will level up this small subset of all of the stats, and then be able to solve every puzzle one way based on just that subset of stats. In reality, an actual player will level up more stats, will level up sort of some other larger selection of stats. So you almost always have at least 2 different solutions available to you, which means that instead of in King's Quest, when we like come upon a puzzle where the solution makes no sense, or better example, like the Gabriel Knight famous mustache puzzle, which makes literally no sense, but you have to be able to, you have to figure it out, you have to solve it in order to progress the game. In this game, there's almost always 2 different ways that you can get past any particular sticking point, which to me is such a like innovation in the adventure game genre, that you can sort of create a game that is linear in its story, that has like this strong narrative. And obviously the story for this game compared to modern good stories is bad. Lacking, is bad. But again, it's a story. It's a story heavy game, regardless of how good that story actually is. The fact that you could sort of take this linear game and instead of having it be all of these gating puzzles that are just so fucking hard to figure out, like King's Quest was, to make it a little bit fuzzy, to introduce a little bit of like non-Boolean values into that, was like really, really incredibly revolutionary. And honestly, well, I say revolutionary, except that it hasn't really been adopted. I mean, Skyrim does it sometimes. Bethesda games,
it's sort of quietly done, because like units or monsters in the game will have a health amount, and you have to bring that health to 0. And there's 1,000,001 different ways you can do that.
That's true.
Do it with spells and fighting and all that sort of stuff. So it's a little bit more like action oriented, but
that's totally true.
I still in modern games miss the clever use of an item to accomplish a thing.
Yeah.
instead of just like, here is punch, and punch can be used 50 different ways. Actually, okay, just totally random. My favorite like mechanic like that wasn't a one-time use was water arrows from Thief 1.
Oh.
If any of you are familiar with that.
Shit, dude, I gotta play Thief 1.
Yeah, so it's one of the only stealth games I've ever played where it's really about stealth. Because most stealth games are like, you're stealth, you were found, and here's a huge, robust combat system to kill everyone with. In this game, it was very easy to die to one person.
Yep.
So you were given all these tools to help you sneak around. Like, you had a little meter that showed how visible you were. And if you were in the light, you were very visible. So you had water arrows, and you could go and like shoot a water arrow at a torch, and it would douse it. So then you could sneak by. So you'd like water arrow a bunch of things and sneak along the top, and it was just a really great game, and I felt clever every single time. Like, I think this is the this is the whole reason why I think graphic adventure games are so fun, is that feeling of like, ooh, cleverness. Like, Dig had a million of those, and King's Quest had many, many.
Yeah, I mean, at that point you're getting into like, tactical things too. I mean, I don't know. I think it's very interesting. Like, this also, I don't want to go into too much, but it falls also into the whole family of non-level based RPGs where you have stats, and you can thereby create the weirdest characters that are like super unbalanced and so on.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's really interesting. It's a hybrid that I've never seen before, for sure.
So one of the things that I talk about when I've talked about Quest for Glory in the past is the idea of the difference between plot and narrative.
Okay.
Which I actually hear different people define different ways, but the way that I was taught and the way that I traditionally look at it is that plot is the things that happen in the story.
Okay.
Narrative is the way the story is told. So the plot of the game is sort of like plot point 1, plot point 2, plot point 3. Like, you are a hero who is skilled at nothing, and you go into this town and you defeat a kobold and you turn the bear back into the prince and you go and save the day. Like, all of those events in like chronological order is the plot, and the narrative is literally sort of like what happens moment to moment. What is the story that actually gets told? And the difference in like some movies is really interesting, like the plot versus the narrative in Memento, for example.
Memento is like a classic example.
But most of the time, the plot and the narrative are very, very similar in linear media. But the plot and the narrative diverge wildly in interactive media. Because even in King's Quest 6, because like there's this emergent narrative of the time that we got stuck on a puzzle and we couldn't figure it out. And so we wandered around the like islands doing other shit for a while before we figured out what we were supposed to do, and we went back and solved the puzzle. Like, that's not part of the plot. That's part of like the narrative of our playthrough of the game. And Quest for Glory takes that idea of the narrative in an adventure game can sort of diverge slightly from what the plot of the game is, and it like blows it apart, and it says the narrative of your game can actually diverge wildly from what the sort of ideal linear plot of the game is. We know the plot of this story is you are gonna like find this kobold and you're gonna steal his key and you're gonna like unlock the bear. But how you actually do that, this analogy breaks apart a little bit, but there's definitely a parallel to the narrative of your individual story is going to be very different from other people's individual stories. Do you use the fetch spell to like get that key, or do you use your sneak ability to sneak up on him, or do you use your fireballs to attack him, or do you like use your sword to slice his head off? Like, there's all these different ways that you could actually get through that to the exact same plot point, And so the game knows what your plot points are. It can plot out exactly what the story of the game is.
I mean, as you're framing it like that, though, I still will come back to the lack of knowing what my objective or my goal is.
Yeah.
Where, because you just said, yeah, we're trying to steal the key from the kobold to unlock the bear. And I immediately thought, we are? Because,
why would we unlock a bear?
It's unclear.
I don't want to unlock the bear. The bear looks threatening and angry. And I mean, that's totally. There's so much of just good fiction writing that is presenting the obstacle to the main character and the reader. So we both know what the obstacle is, and then we see the way that the obstacle is resolved, and that's very satisfying. And what's unsatisfying is when it's like, and it turns out there was a bomb, but don't worry, it was diffused. Anyways, moving on, because you're sort of like, oh, what because the knowledge of the goal and the obstacles in between you and the goal makes solving or achieving the goal have impact. And without that sort of that gap there, I found it, because I feel like everything Quest for Glory, like the exact gameplay, I think I would be so much more emotionally attached to if I had any sense of what our objective goal anything was. Because right now, I think, and I'm not even sure of this, I think the only driving objective goals were things that I'm supposed to have remembered were on a board in a guild hall that I maybe didn't even go to in the game. And I really love that about Skyrim, where it's like, here's the main quest. And I'm like, all right, there it is. And then I'm like, I'm going to go wander this way. And I'm still, the fact that I'm aware that I'm diverging from it is very pleasurable to me. And then it says, here is a new quest. And I'm like, ooh, I want to become guild. I know what my objectives are. So
totally. Well, and I think that's exactly why Skyrim does it, is that, like, there's an enormous amount of content that you can explore, but there's always this lodestone of, you always have the main quest, and you always know what the main quest is, and you can always return to the main quest at any moment. Like, if you're tired of what you're doing, if you feel stuck, if you feel just like, you haven't made enough progress lately, you always know the next thing that you can do on the main quest, and that's very satisfying from a user experience standpoint. Yeah, no, I think that's really important, and it's funny how actually bad at that the Quest for Glory games are. I'm thinking about 1, 2, and 4. 3 is better, and I think that might be why I liked 3 so much. 3 is a little bit more directed, but 4, in a very similar way to this one. Like, this one starts out as, you're a hero and you just showed up in this place, like, figure out how to be a hero. 4 does the exact same thing. It's like, at the end of 3, you get magically teleported to a new world. And then 4 starts out like, hey, you're a hero. You're in a brand new place. You don't know what anything is. Figure out how to be a hero. And it's a difficult narrative structure to work with, because you don't have that sense of, like, this is what my goal is. And it turns out the game has a very structured plot. It's like, in its plot, it is very similar to a game like King's Quest VI. But you're not given that goal at the outset. You're not shown, like, a roadmap of this is what you're going to have to do over the course of the game. And so you feel kind of at a loss at the beginning. You're just, like, thrown into this world and you're wandering around. I mean, honestly, Skyrim's really good. I felt this way playing Fallout, whatever the first Bethesda Fallout was.
3.
3. Yeah, so I felt, like, super at a loss as to what my place in the world was supposed to be. And that even had a, like, main quest that I could follow if I wanted. The other thing is that some of this is lost as part of manual culture. Like, the important information about that quest board was repeated, I'm pretty sure, in the manual for the game. Certainly the overall quest of, like, hey, you are a hero. You just graduated from Adventurer's Correspondence School. Like, and you found an advertisement that says come to Spielberg and be a hero, that's what you're doing. That's who you are, and that's what you're doing. That was very prominently part of the pack-in of the game.
Which made sense back then, because like in a modern board game, nobody designs a board game for you to figure out without a manual. You're supposed to read the damn manual, right? Like
totally.
The same thing with video games back then. And actually, since it is nearly 9:30,
yeah,
we're gonna do some closing thoughts. Bill, I'm gonna begin with you.
All right. Well, I just want to say that I think this was a good taste. I think that people who want to go through and experience these funky digital worlds that Quest for Glory is going to give you should do it. But I think, I think we're going to hit up something correctly where it's more, what would you say, more plot per narrative moment?
more
like
stream worthy.
Streamlined, stream worthy. But yeah, it's a good wandering game and a good sort of like way. It seems like a good way to spend almost like meditative time in a sort of, woods on your own. So there you go.
Mr. Bouchard.
I think I've expressed a lot of the sort of reasoning behind what I really love about the game. I appreciate that you guys sort of picked this game and endured it as long as you did because I love it so much. And I think it's sort of important to note, I guess, that that loving a game isn't necessarily a good endorsement of it for this kind of a show. Because this happens, but I'm glad that we looked at it. I'm glad that we got a chance to talk about sort of some of the ways that I think it really was innovative, the ways that it took the formula of a lot of the games that we've played and that we will play and really like twisted it hard, like really stretched it to a place where it's hard to call it an adventure game anymore. I mean, it crosses a like genre boundary that that was not so permeable at the time. Like now, adventure, like an action adventure game, an RPG adventure game, like adventure has dispersed, has sort of like diluted into all of these other genres. But at the time, the adventure game was king. Like that genre was a huge moneymaker. And so people just like played within the adventure game genre. And to take the kinds of risks that this game takes and to do things that really push the boundaries of how an adventure game can work. And a lot of those are things that I actually feel like if you made an adventure game today that did some of the smart shit that Quest for Glory does, and not all of the like really outdated and potentially terrible stuff that Quest for Glory does, that could be a way to make adventure games a little bit more relevant.
I mean, just in general, I miss the older school adventure games, but I feel like there's like a magic that like all the games we've played thus far have had that I just like I miss that. The closest sensation I've had to it is Dark Souls. Just that feeling of like, no way, this small little crack that was hard to see, it was barely visible, that I decided to go down, actually has like a whole world with 8 boss fights behind it, and I feel like I'm the naughty guy that stumbled on the secret that I wasn't supposed to.
Yeah.
And I hope to see more of that sort of feeling in many future games. So Quest for Glory is it's currently on goodoldgamers.com if you guys want to buy it and play through it. And we are going to decide a game to be playing, not next Monday, but 2 weeks, because I'm at BlizzCon next weekend. But we will continue mostly walking despite the interruptions. So I'm Sean Plott,
and I'm Bill Grainer,
and I'm Sean Bouchard.
Thanks for watching us play Quest for Glory. I'm Mostly Walking. We'll see you for more old adventure games. And there's one that I especially want on the list, which is you pick it up and place it in your purse. Google it if you don't know what I'm talking about. That game might be awful, but I don't know. We'll figure something out. Woo! Bye!